And I'm Cynthia.
And we're Girl Talking Shenanigans, and we're so excited that you guys are back for another episode. And if you just found us, thanks so much. So Cynthia and I have been on the go, and I think it's so cute that her granddaughter, Amaya, actually calls us the Go-Go Girls.
The Go-Go Girls. So cute.
Yeah, I love it. Because we do. We just tried to squeeze as many fun things into this holiday season as possible. And do you want to just go back a little bit and we kind of walk people through, like, all the fun things that we've been up to?
Sure, that sounds great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's start with Black Friday.
Oh, yep. Black Friday was fun.
We're backing up a little bit, but this is how we're going to close out the year. We're going to just share all the stuff that we've done together and whatever shenanigans might have occurred. So Black Friday, it's changed a lot.
It has. It really has. Oh, my gosh. In the beginning, years ago, I mean, me and her were like crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. I mean, I would literally cook an entire Thanksgiving dinner, host my entire family, and stay up until midnight.
Yeah, because that's when the stores were opening.
Right,
The stores used to open at midnight, and I always felt so bad for the employees.
I did too.
But the energy high that her and I would get from, like, staying awake after, well, and sometimes I would actually lay down.
Like take a little mini nap or something.
Yeah, I would set the alarm clock so I can get like an hour power nap, and then I'd wake up like supercharged like a kid on Christmas Eve, you know?
Yep.
And
we'd go through the newspaper and look at all the ads, and so we would scope out which places we wanted to go to.
And
we kind of ended up at the same stores all the time, right?
Yeah.
We would, for some reason, go to Kohl's. And we, nothing against Kohl's, but we never go there.
No, we don't ever
all
shop
year
at
long.
Kohl's.
Yeah,
all year. Right?
But Black Friday, they'd have these great deals.
Yeah.
And so...
And the blankets.
They would have those great Christmas blankets.
They were called, like, the big one.
Yeah, the big one.
And they were like $8.99.
Yeah, like $8. I think they started like $5.99. Like back in the day, they were $5.99.
Yeah, because they're getting more expensive.
Now they're $8.99.
And they're smaller.
Yeah, and they're smaller.
But everything. That's what's happened with everything.
Yeah.
Everything, like the amount you're buying is smaller, but the price is higher. So
we're
on to it.
Oh, yeah, we're all with you.
Retail.
Everybody's with us on that one.
Yeah.
That's for sure. We're all irritated about that.
Yeah.
But it is. It's just hilarious how we never go there. But we go to Kohl's, and we usually hit Kohl's in the mall. So we have a big mall here called the Galleria Mall.
Yeah.
And those are kind of our two fave places that we'll go to.
The stores don't open at midnight.
Yeah.
We were like, you know what? She was hosting Thanksgiving, and we didn't have to host, fortunately, because my niece and nephew hosted. And so you used to host, have to clean up, put everything away, take a power nap, and then pick me up at midnight.
Yeah.
But now the stores don't open until maybe like 5 or 6. Some of them are 8 or 9.
Yeah.
I think we messed that up because I think we thought Kohl's opened at 9.
And they actually did open at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
So we kind of messed
because by the time we got there, it was like kind of picked over, but it didn't matter because even when we got there at like 10:30 or so.
10:30 or so. We couldn't get a cart. We never seem to can get a cart. No matter what time we go, we can't get a cart.
Yeah.
So we ended up with those, at least nowadays they have those great big black bags.
Huge bags.
Because before, remember, we didn't have anything.
No, we were just trying to juggle.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, so at least they did have those big black bags. Yeah. And
But we weren't even sure we were going to, like, find anything.
Yeah.
Because I didn't get a newspaper. Did you?
No.
I didn't either.
I think I just looked on ads online.
Yeah.
And
online.
you didn't want a blanket for sure this year.
No.
And I did say I do think I want a couple blankets, and I did buy a couple, and they were up to $8.99 now. But
do we need to share that, like, we think we have this, like, community affinity for blankets? Because Steve says I have a fetish for blankets because
I think a lot of people do.
I know my sister Lovey does.
I mean,
she
they're so
loves blankets
warm
too.
and cozy and
they're so
wonderful.
inexpensive.
Yeah, and then the Christmas ones that we get are like, oh my gosh, I like the ones with the peppermints on them.
Yes, the candy
and the candy
and
the candy
puppies
canes
and the snowman.
I
So
just
yeah,
love
so
'em.
I told Steve I'm going to try really hard this year
Yep.
not to buy a blanket at Kohl's, and
And she didn't. She
I
didn't
did,
buy. I bought
good.
2. She didn't buy any.
I didn't.
Which she stuck to her plan.
Yeah.
So that was super
yeah,
cool.
because
Yeah.
we do need to plan a trip to the SPCA because
Oh, yeah,
I
we do.
have
Yeah.
so many blankets that I need to retire, and
Yeah.
I know there's a ton of dogs at the SPCA that don't
would want those
have
for sure. Yeah.
something warm to sleep on. And
Yeah.
actually, I did jump on Facebook Marketplace and the neighborhood group to see like if there's any homeless shelters. So it said they have a ton, but the dog shelters
Don't.
don't.
Okay,
So,
that's
anyways,
good to know.
So I thought we could make that a trip.
Definitely.
Go do
Yeah,
that
we
and
definitely because
get
we
some
love our doggies. That's
Cuddles,
for sure.
cuddle some
Yeah.
puppies. But anyhow,
Yeah, but yeah, so we ended up, of course, starting at Kohl's.
Yeah.
And got our big black bag, and it was so heavy because I had it shoved with so much stuff.
there were so many good deals.
So many-
Still
still good deals.
Yeah.
That I
missed
couldn't even
it.
hold my bag. I was dragging my bag on the floor because I'm like, oh my God, this thing's
look like
killing
a
my
hobo.
shoulder. Trying to hold your purse on one side and
your
this
bag on
big
the
old bag on the
other.
other side. And
Yeah, and I kept looking for a cart because I kept
Yeah.
making my round when we kind of separated at one point. I kept trying to see if there was a cart because I would just literally set my bag on top of a cart.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
there was
No, I
never
couldn't
a cart.
ever
Like,
found one.
The place was full.
Yeah.
The whole time.
Yeah. The place was definitely full. And yeah, once you end up with all your stuff, you're in this line that goes like
Wrapped
that. It's like a
around
snake.
the
And
store.
so you're way over here. And it actually moved pretty good.
Yeah, it did.
I wouldn't say super fast. And I totally know why. Because when I finally get up there, the lady's like, do you have a Kohl's card? And I'm like, no. Well, if you do this, and this, you can have a Kohl's card.
Yeah, they're trying to upsell
and
you
I
to
don't
get
want a
Kohl's
Kohl's card, you know? I don't
so
want
they
one.
must ask everybody
And
when they get to the checkout.
It's like, well, don't you want an extra 15% off? And I'm like, well, yeah, but I have this coupon that says.
Yeah, we found it
You get
online.
this, you get this 15% off. And she's like, well, you have to put your name in and that's it. And I'm like, no wonder the line is way out there.
Okay, I do have to say though, the funny thing was that you said that the lady like made you do all that login.
And
Well, I got
didn't.
this. There is a sweet teenager, boy. I don't know how old he was.
I
but-
got taken.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because he offered me 25%. I didn't have to plug in anything, and he even let me split my purchase because I wanted to have
You
know.
got 25%?
Yes, he gave me 25%.
I only got 15.
Are you sure you didn't get 20?
I'm positive. I don't know.
I feel like you
I
got
don't know.
20.
I was flabbergasted because I had to sit there and put all my information.
And you know, he didn't even
And I kept
ask
thinking
me.
about all those people online as I'm doing this.
Yeah, because all those people are waiting for you to do that. Yeah, but he didn't have me do anything.
Wow.
He just goes, I'm just going to scan this and you'll get 25% off. And
Oh
I was
my
like,
gosh.
you're my new best friend.
Yeah, you've been mine too.
And we got Kohl's cash. So then I was like, oh my gosh, on top of everything
I
else we've got planned, which we'll talk about, we had to spend our Kohl's cash by December 11th.
Yes, December
Right?
11th, exactly.
Oh my
That
God.
day, yeah.
Which actually was our lunch day. right?
Imagine that. With everything else in the world going on, doing this, and that was our designated launch day.
Yeah.
Was also the last day that you could spend your Kohl's cash.
Yeah, so we made a fun day out of it.
We
We
did.
launched- we launched the podcast.
We launched.
We went to lunch and we went shopping and spent our Kohl's cash. So it
did.
just came full circle.
It really did, and that was a fun day. But back up though, because
Yeah.
after Kohl's we go to the Galleria,
Yes.
right?
Well, and the fun thing is that when Braden was a toddler,
Yes.
he loved Black Friday shopping. I think he felt the energy that Cynthia and I feel by like getting up early and you're so tired and like we're eating lunch at the Galleria at like 10 in the morning.
We would be shopping so much we would eat 2 meals.
Yes, because we were at
Breakfast
Kohl's
and
at
dinner.
midnight, and then we'd come home and get Braden and wake
Well,
him
we
up.
would get him at 5 a.m.
5 in the morning,
Yeah.
grab Braden,
We'd
and then
grab
we'd go to
Braden.
the Galleria
Yep.
and hit all the sales. Do you remember that doorbuster at JCPenney's? And
Oh.
I had like a death grip on Braden because Carolyn was with us that
year.
time.
Yes, you're right.
She
Carolyn,
was
your
going
sister.
to get something like it was.
She
a
wanted to
coffee-
go there because
coffee
I
maker?
did. I got the coffee maker.
Okay, you got the coffee
We
maker.
are just now using that coffee
Are
maker.
you serious?
We
Brayden
have
was
had-
like 3 years old.
I know. It's been in my garage.
That
I
is
still have a toaster
crazy.
from Kohl's too.
Okay.
There's that $5 toaster.
Oh,
I still have that.
You do.
But the $8 coffee maker has been in my garage for like 10
Just
years.
waiting for yours to break.
We went to a
Keurig.
Keurig.
Yeah.
Well, the Keurig just broke.
Oh my god.
And it's just dripping now, right?
Oh, no.
So I go, you know what? I got that coffee maker out in the
Oh,
garage.
that's crazy.
Bam, that thing works.
Oh my gosh. Now here's the funny thing. The thing that I had to have that day, I've wanted a toaster oven forever.
That's right.
So that when you go to happy hour and you get like, I don't know, mozzarella sticks
Yeah.
or chicken tenders, like they never heat up the same. And so I was like, there is this Black & Decker toaster oven at JCPenney's doorbuster sale. I think it was like $10,
If
$10.99.
that, because back then you sent in a rebate.
Oh, and you got
And then
even
if you got
more.
the rebate, you got even more if you took the time to do that.
Oh, that's
yeah,
true.
My stuff costs $8.
Oh my gosh.
A coffee
I might
maker
have.
and a toaster.
Yeah, that was 15 years ago. So
That was a long time ago.
Yeah, I'm not quite recollecting
It was
it
like
exactly,
10.
but you're
Yeah.
probably right because everything had a rebate.
Mhm.
So I loved this toaster oven. I was so excited to have it, but it was like this big.
Yeah.
It took up so much counter space, and you're like me. We don't like a lot of tchotchkes on the island or on the countertops.
Tchotchkes.
Tchotchkes?
Oh, tchotchkes.
Yeah.
I've never heard that.
It's just like-
before. Tchotchkes.
You learn something new.
Every day.
Right? Because I just don't like a lot of stuff out, and I call stuff like
Yeah.
tchotchkes, like, just stuff, like clutter.
Yes,
and so
yes.
I could not put it on my countertop because
Yeah.
it was too much clutter. And then I had no more cupboard space for it. We've already talked about
We
how many
have, because I
glasses
stick
have.
mine underneath the cupboard.
And I don't have room for it.
Yeah.
So literally, I sold it in a garage sale for $10, like
Yeah.
a couple years
Brand
ago.
new, though.
It was brand new.
spanking
It's
yeah.
been used maybe once or twice,
Yeah.
but anyways. But
Bummer.
I miss that excitement of the doorbuster, like where there was like it was like a stampede of us waiting
yeah.
for JCPenney's to open the door,
Yeah.
and like Marilyn, Cynthia, and I and Brayden, we were like all huddled, and we were like, like marching into this place, and then like scattering to try to get the doorbuster.
Oh, yeah, get the doorbusters.
It's just not like that no more.
No, it's kind of a want now.
Yeah.
And then the stores started opening on Thanksgiving Day, and
Yeah,
I'm like,
that was
no, I'm
terrible.
not doing that
Yeah,
because
that was
I got
terrible.
work to do. And yeah, Thanksgiving is Thanksgiving. You know, I
and
wasn't
the
going to go
families,
shopping.
people
and-
that work
Yeah.
need to have the day with their family.
Exactly.
So I never agreed with that.
I
so
agree.
Opening at midnight was at least a little better.
Yeah.
But now it's back, to
Yeah.
like 5 a.m. And,
yeah.
And that's fine because now we get to actually sleep.
And the mall, we're actually not super mall people.
Yeah.
We're not mall shoppers a little bit, but we just love going at Christmas time because we just love seeing the
decor.
gigantic tree
And
and
the lights.
Santa's there.
Decor and the music. They
I
got,
just
like,
love it.
Christmas music piped
Yeah.
in all over wherever
And all
you
the
go.
garland is hung and the bowl. I mean, it's just gorgeous in there.
It
I
is.
just love
It's
it.
an energy.
It
Everybody's
is. The
like,
energy, yeah.
I never really see like those crazy people they talk about on the news where like people are getting in fights and grabbing stuff
no,
out of people's hands. Like it's just joyful. Everybody's
Yeah.
happy. Everybody's shopping.
Yep.
People are, just enjoying
Yep.
the holiday
The
spirit.
holidays, yeah, and shopping and getting stuff done.
The
and-
only bummer is that
Yeah.
Braden doesn't want a Black Friday shop with us.
No, well,
anymore.
he is 18.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. I did try to encourage him, but
Yeah.
he wasn't buying what I was selling.
Well,
I was offering
He did go quite a
a
while.
long
A long time, yeah.
Yeah, he was
so,
my little trooper.
yeah, he did pretty good too.
Those days are over, but that's
Yeah.
okay. Now there's other fun things we get to
Exactly.
do together. Okay, so the other fun thing that Cynthia and I have been talking about, and we heard about this movie forever leading up to Christmas, it was called The Best Christmas Pageant Ever. And Cynthia and I wanted to go, and Steve said, I want to go too. So
Yep.
Steve got us tickets. So the day after Black Friday, we had planned to go see this movie. And Cynthia and I had gotten together early that day. We were working on a ton of podcast stuff, getting everything ready for the launch. And we looked at our watches and we were like, oh, shoot.
We gotta get going
we
here.
Gotta
we
go.
gotta go. Yeah.
And Steve was like, I was waiting for your girls to finish up so we can like take off to go to the movie. Well, I had to go, and we didn't have time. And I was just trying to grab like a pair of fuzzy socks out of my drawer, and I always bring a blanket to, use at the movie theater because it's always freezing in there. And we like hit the road.
Yeah, jumped in the truck.
Yeah.
And hit the road.
Steve was driving.
Yeah, Steve was
she
driving.
was in the front seat.
Yeah.
And I was in the back seat because she
me and my thing.
She gets
car
sick.
My car sick. Yeah.
So I was in the back seat, and I'm like, just looking on my phone.
She's looking on her phone.
And I'm just like,
and we're like, doo-doo-doo, driving down the road. And all of a sudden, I kind of look, and we're almost to the exit. And I look, and I'm seeing smoke coming out of Steve's hood.
Because we were on Highway 65.
Yeah.
And we were like, it's
just
flipped
getting
to go to 80.
Yep, just getting ready to go off the freeway. And I'm like,
I look up.
Oh, my gosh.
And there is. She was so right. There was smoke like billowing from Steve's hood. So and I was like, hon, what's going on? And then all of a sudden he's like, my dashboard says pull over now. I was like, what? So,
and then she's like, well, don't you think we could at least just get off the freeway and get over to the theater? And he's like, no, it says pull over now. I go, Marilyn, you will blow your engine.
Yeah, no, I didn't think we could make it to the movie theater.
Yeah.
The movie theater was off of Eureka Road. I was thinking, can we just
get off the freeway?
Because I was terrified. I mean, you hear about people all the time getting killed. Because their car broke down.
Yeah, and
so
this is nighttime because, it gets dark so early
it's
now.
It's probably 6 o'clock.
Yeah, I think
at night.
Was it raining? No.
It was
kind of a drizzle, I think.
Just a little sprinkle. Yeah. But I just wanted to get us off the freeway because I was terrified that we were going to get rear-ended. So Steve's like, I got my hazards on.
Yeah,
so
we were luckily, so here's the freeway.
Yeah.
There's a portion, because here's an exit, right?
Yeah, like a V.
We are right here in that portion.
In that little V.
So literally, zoom, zoom on both sides of us.
People are flying past
bam,
us.
Bam, both sides, and we're right here. And I'm like,
and I'm so grateful we're in Steve's big old,
I know,
GMC.
big truck,
yeah.
Because I was a little worried, like,
terrified.
oh my God, we've got cars going both ways, you know. So anyway.
So I called
AAA.
I'm like, maybe they can get here fast enough. Maybe they can drop us off at the movie theater. I don't know.
But she's still trying to make the movie.
Yeah, I never want to give up on what I have my heart set on. I'm like,
Steve's pulling over, and she's like, but what about the movie? And he's like, we're not going to make the movie. And she's like, oh, okay.
Well, I I always want to try and exhaust every opportunity to keep the plan. That's just, it's my can-do spirit.
Well, and we wanted to see the movie.
We really wanted to see the movie. Okay, so I called AAA, and they're like, we're so sorry, but we don't have somebody nearby. It's going to be at least an hour. So I was like, oh my gosh, okay, we're definitely missing the movie now. I'm just, trying to process that.
Yeah.
And the girl that I was talking to at AAA had the best suggestion. So, public service announcement, if you guys are stuck on the side of the freeway or a road and you don't feel safe, you can call either the police department if you're on a surface street, or what we did, we called the CHP. And a CHP officer was there probably within 5 or 10 minutes.
And luckily, we were lucky, though, because if they were busy, they couldn't come.
Yeah.
But we were lucky that one was available.
Yeah.
And he was so gracious to come, park his car behind us with his lights flashing.
Yeah, it was great.
And he sat there the whole time. He said, I'll do work in my car.
Yeah, he came and checked on us a couple of times.
He said, I'll stay as long as I can. If I get a call, I got to go.
And we were like, we totally get it.
Yeah, we totally understand it, and we get it, and he did come one time, like, have they given you an update?
Yeah.
And we're like, yeah, they're going to be here in like 30 more minutes. He's like, okay. So that was so sweet of him.
Yeah, because he even stayed until the tow truck driver. And the tow truck driver was probably in his early 20s.
He was so young, huh?
He was so sweet. Yeah. And I was like, if you were my son, I would be worried about you every single day.
I know.
Because it's such a dangerous job, especially where we had broken down. So anyways.
Yeah,
yeah. The funny thing is that I never leave the house unprepared. I always make sure I've used the ladies' room. I make sure my phone is not dead. And this was the time that I just threw it all aside.
Yeah, we were in a rush.
Yes.
We
But
were
I
like, we
had-
were going to miss the movie, so
Yeah.
we needed to get going,
Yeah, and I had to hold it.
Yeah.
That whole time, at least I had my fuzzy socks because the truck was freezing because we
Yeah.
had to turn it off. And I had my fuzzy socks. I had a blanket. And then Braden came and rescued us.
Yep, Braid came and picked us up over at the tow truck driver was super nice
Yeah.
too, and gave us a ride
To the
all the
Galleria.
way to the Galleria Mall,
Yeah, which
where
was
the
right there.
parking
off
lot,
the
right off
exit.
the freeway.
Yeah.
So that way Braden had a place to, pick us up at. So yeah, it was very nice of him to drive us. We all
Make sure
smashed
we were-
in the.
I
all
was-
three of us were
Oh,
smashed
if
in the
the
cab of the tow
CHP
truck.
is listening. I did not sit on Steve's lap in the tow truck. We were very safe. We were all buckled in.
Because he was like,
I'm lying.
do you all have seatbelts on? We're like, yes. He
Yeah.
goes, okay, I don't see anything.
I don't see
know
nothing."
nothing. Yeah, but he was so cool.
But it was
But-
funny though because when the CHP guy officer was
Yeah.
leaving, I went back to the car and
Yeah.
I was like, "Thank you so much. It felt so good and so reassuring to know that you were back there."
Yeah,
And
it did.
so, anyways, I was like, "My name's Marilyn." Actually, I asked him for his badge number
Yeah.
because we want to send him a thank you.
Yes.
But he gave me his card with his badge number, and I said, "I'm Marilyn, and this is my friend Cynthia." And then
We almost said, and we're girl talking shenanigans. But we did.
so funny because we get so used to saying that when we start the podcast, and if it's annoying, you can
I
let
know.
us know. But we have fun with it. We're not going to do it all the
I
time.
know.
We've dropped it on a couple of
Yeah.
podcasts we've launched,
Yeah.
but it was just so funny because
was
I'm like,
funny.
I'm Marilyn, and this is Cynthia, and I literally wanted
We
to go
both
and
were-
we're real talking shenanigans when we buckled it up.
Uh-huh.
We didn't say it,
Yeah.
but so then Braden brings us home, and the first thing that Braden notices is this huge pile of radiator fluid in this
Where the truck was
massive-
parked.
Yes, where my husband parks in front of the house.
Yeah.
And then there was this
A
massive
trail.
trail
way down.
all the way down the street. And Braden's like, "Did you sever the radiator hose so that you'd have something to talk about on the podcast?" And I was like, "Braden,
We were like, no.
no, because we had to miss a movie. I would have never done that for podcast content, but it was kind of cute that he
It was
said
funny.
that.
Yeah.
But the big pile of radiator fluid was like a huge warning
It's like,
sign.
did you not see the huge pile? We're like,
No.
actually, no, because
No.
he just took off.
And you know our neighbors that are going past our house are like,
Yeah.
"Oh, Steve's in trouble. He's leaked all of his
He's
radiator
not going to go
fluid."
very far.
Yeah, because the trail at some point had to have stopped because there was none left in the car
gosh.
or the truck.
Bad,
Anyways,
yeah.
that was hilarious.
Yeah, actually, and just so you know, we did go see the movie another
Yeah.
day. Me and
Yeah.
Marilyn went, so we did go see it. So we have seen it.
Yeah,
and
it was
very
great.
cute.
It was
a very
adorable.
cute little movie. So yeah, so that was a fun night.
That was
and-
fun.
Yeah, and we also this year, because I've missed a couple years of
My neighborhood.
her neighborhood cookie swap.
Yeah.
And I love a cookie swap because I love making cookies.
Yeah,
and
that's
I
always so
love
fun. It makes you feel
having
in
that huge
Christmas
variety,
spirit.
of
'cause
cookies.
You bake 6 dozen,
Yeah.
and then when you go to the cookie swap, you're getting an assortment of,
Of
6
6
dozen
dozen,
to
yes.
bring home. And
Yes.
so it's always so fun
Super
to
fun.
see what everybody's made. And
Yeah.
the rules are super strict. Like,
Yeah.
it cannot be
We have a
any
strict cookie.
no-bake cookies.
Yeah, it
There
can't be cookie bars. It
Yes.
has to be actual
a cookie that
cook.
you
And
bake.
she does say Christmas cookies, but not everybody does a Christmas
'cause
cookie. But
honestly, we've tried so many years
I know.
to try to find new Christmas cookie
Yeah.
recipes. And unless you're doing something that's red or green or sugar cookie
Yeah.
that's decorated like a snowflake or the
Right.
snowman, like you kind of run out. So
Mm-hmm.
this year I copied the Panera kitchen sink cookie recipe. It's online. You can
Mm-hmm.
totally find it. And Braden loved them. They were so delicious. So mine had chocolate chips, little caramel bits, and pretzels in it. And do you want to talk about your cookie? 'Cause yours
oh,
were
I just made
beautiful.
the oatmeal lace cookies. Which everybody kind of knows they spread right and they, real lacy and chewy. And then, but I just took dark chocolate and I drizzled mine with dark chocolate. So they were big. And
Oh,
when
they
I
were
was
very flat. And
flat,
literally, they
and they're,
look
like,
like
crunchy.
lace because
Yeah.
the way they bake, they
they're like
separate.
those lace cookies, yeah.
Yeah.
But the funny thing about that is that you make 6 dozen worth of, 6 dozen cookies.
Yeah.
So I found the recipe, like a week before or whatever, and I'm looking at it and I'm like, oh, okay, this, and this. And then I'm like, okay. So then I get ready to make it and I'm reading to the bottom now and it said this recipe makes 1 dozen. No, it actually said this recipe makes 12 cookies. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, what the heck? I got to 6 times this?
Yeah.
So I had to 6 times it.
And you had to go to the store.
And I had to go to the store because I already didn't have that much butter and have that much oatmeal. I had to 6 times it. Yeah, so... But it turned out this cookie swap to me was the best one.
Yeah, it really was.
It
Everybody
was a lot
put
of
their
people.
Heart and soul and thought, and the cookies were beautiful. Actually, we'll
really
post
were.
pictures.
Yeah, they were.
Took pictures. We took a group
picture.
We got pictures of the cookies. And speaking of your recipe making 12, now the thing that I didn't think about when I made my recipe was that the kitchen sink cookies at Panera are like, this big around.
Okay.
And so, nobody wants to eat that big of a cookie. And when you're doing a cookie swap and you make 6 dozen, you don't really want to have to make that much dough.
Right.
So the recipe I found online, and I'd never seen a recipe like this before, there was like a little plus and a minus button, and you could plus it, and it would literally go from 12 cookies to 24 cookies and up and up and up. And it would increase the recipe. And I thought that was so
awesome.
Cool.
Yeah.
So everybody who's posting recipes, make it like that. Because it is so perfect when you're trying to make
more or less.
More or less. Yeah. Like I remember when Braden's class would need cookies and there was the first and second graders were combined.
Yeah.
And then I'd have to make 38 cookies or something like that. And trying to do the math, it was like the most amazing thing I'd ever seen. You know me and my measurements. I love
but we just had a great cookie swap. I mean, it was the best cookies, I think, this year.
Yeah.
I really
they were all delicious.
Enjoyed all of them. They were all good, and we're still eating them because I froze mine.
Yeah.
So I took mine home and froze them, and I took them out for Christmas and just had the assortment, and I'm still munching on them.
Yeah, we dug right in. We dug right in.
We also did our last craft fair that was our Folsom
for the year.
For the year, yeah. We did go to the big Folsom craft fair where they shut down the whole main street.
Yeah, Sutter Street.
Yeah, and
the street is so cute because it's like old time. Yeah. Yeah, it's like just like any little old town, main street, and it's got that Christmas
vibe. Yeah, it's so
decorated.
Pretty. It's all decorated and lights and all that, even though it's during the day, so we didn't really get to see the lights and everything. But I have been there probably every year for 25, 30 years. I mean, I've been a million times. And it's always freezing, cold,
or
and
raining,
and you're just bundled up, and scarves
your hands are
and
numb,
gloves,
and you can barely get your money out of your wallet.
Yeah.
Because the vendors are lined up and down the whole street.
Yeah, and they've got little heaters going because they're freezing, and stuff. This was the most beautiful, sunshiny day.
Yeah.
In
December.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it.
But that's what I love about California.
Me too. You watch the news and back east, there's snow plowing and, all this stuff. And we're like, oh my gosh, I don't even think we need our jackets today.
Yeah, we left our jackets in the car.
We're like oh my gosh. I actually I carried mine because I just knew if the sun goes down or behind a cloud or something, then I'm freezing.
It was a bit chillier in the shade, but it was
what a
gorgeous.
Beautiful day.
No wind, no rain,
it was
and
great.
all the vendors, you could tell they were
they're super happy
because they're worried about their stuff blowing down. I mean, everyone's got an easy up with all their, creations and crafts and stuff underneath.
Yes,
And usually they would be trying to weight down the easy ups, but it was so fun. And there was so many new vendors too, because
we were really surprised and happy about it. Yeah.
Because sometimes when you go to a lot of local craft fairs, you're seeing the same vendors and the same
looking at the same types of things, even if it's a different person, they're making the same thing. And so it's, you're kind of getting, I've already saw that back, 2 weeks ago. Yeah. So, we were super excited that we saw, wow, we haven't seen this or we haven't seen that.
And there were so many vendors.
A lot of vendors.
Great.
Yeah, that was a really good one. And then,
just random things too. Like a lady was making hot chocolate bombs. I hadn't seen those in 4 or 5 years.
And she actually was just talking about how she hadn't seen her son wanted a chocolate bomb.
Yeah, he's like,
and
I
he was
never
like,
see hot chocolate bombs. I'm like, I haven't either. I forgot all about it.
Yeah, and so we were in a booth talking about chocolate bombs.
Yeah, because they had bath bombs. The lady
that's
made
right,
bath,
she had bath bombs, and that's how we all started chocolate bombs. That's right. And then the girl
I was
goes,
like, Cynthia, if you see hot chocolate bombs,
yeah, let me know.
yeah. And then the girl that was running the bath bomb booth.
Bath bomb booth. the Triple B place.
Right? Tongue twister. She's like, the vendor next door makes them and sells them. And I'm like, what? How crazy is that? So anyhow, I was able to get Braden some of those. And yeah, we just bought like a ton of random stuff. And it was really fun. I ran into 2 girls that are friends of my niece, Lisa.
Oh, yeah,
and
that's right.
They are subscribers of our podcast. So that was really cool.
Yeah.
We had joked about, like, if we're out and about and somebody that we don't know recognizes us, we're going to know, like, we're on the map.
We finally made it.
Yeah. Because these 2 girls that
they know her.
They know me through my niece. But it still was really cool to have them, like, be so excited. Because I think at that point, we had just dropped the announcement that we were doing a podcast.
Right.
We hadn't actually launched. So they're like, we're all subscribed. We're, like, waiting for your podcast to drop. And I was like, oh, my gosh. Like, that's so fun. Like, running into people that, like, are actually subscribers. So,
I know, right?
Anyways, that was super fun.
Yeah, and we did get to go to our most favorite store, which is it's a store called Dorothea's, and it's Christmas all year around there.
In the store.
Yeah. So it's one of those stores that we love.
It's like magical.
It has every ornament that you can possibly think of.
Any food, any sport,
every
job,
every
career.
dog you could think of. Yeah, careers. And then it has all the famous ones. So it has, all the
old world.
All the old world and my Christopher Radko that I love. And it just has everything. It has Jim Shore, it's got the Peanuts characters. It just has everything. We love that store so much.
Nothing you couldn't find there.
Yeah. So we did get to hit that one at least. So.
We both have a glass candy Christmas tree.
Yes,
so we're always looking
for that.
For glass candy.
Yeah.
Oh, which reminds me, because do you remember the vendor that sold those glasswares?
Yes.
Alice?
Yes,
I think her name was Alice.
Yeah.
So she makes these beautiful creations out of vintage glasswares.
Mm-hmm.
So she'll buy like a plate and then she'll glue a bowl to it, and it's all like these gorgeous,
and then a cup,
iridescent.
So they're bird feeders, though.
Yes.
Yeah, they're bird feeders.
And they're garden art too.
Mm-hmm.
So you could make them into a bird feeder, or just put them in the garden. And she sells the stake, and they have a metal. It's actually a spoon that she glues to the back of it, and then you set it in this PVC pipe, and it looks like flowers the way she's got them all designed. But the funny thing was, speaking of the glass candy, is when we walked up to her booth, I saw this gorgeous red and white striped glass candy, and her and I are going to antique stores all the time looking for vintage glass candy.
They're expensive.
They really are. Like, sometimes you'll find a vendor that sells them for like $1, and then other times they're like $8.99
for one piece of glass candy, and you're like, oh no, I'm not buying that one.
No, it's expensive.
It's like ridiculous, right?
But when I walked up to her booth, she had a couple of these glasswares that were all glued together, and they were Christmas theme. And I see this red and white striped glass candy, and so I was like, are you selling that glass candy? And she's like, yes, but you have to buy the whole thing. It's glued.
It's glued onto the plate.
And so anyways, I was like, it was so cute, and I thought, you know what? I feed all the birds and the squirrels in the backyard. So I'm like, I'm not going to use it in the house. I'm going to use it outside. So anyways, I bought it.
Yeah.
I had to have it. It was so cute. The other one that I got is one that is like a flower, and so it goes in
really
the
pretty.
Yes.
And,
I can't wait for the sun
say, super pretty.
to hit it, because you noticed it first.
Yeah.
And then you were eyeing it, and I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't see that one, because I was kind of enamored by the Christmas one with the red and green grass with the candy.
Right.
And then I was like, if she doesn't buy it, I'm going to buy it. And then you were like, I was like,
I'm like, no, I don't want it. I'm not out feeding the birds. So she's the bird. She's the bird woman, you know.
Well, in this one I thought, oh, it was iridescent. It was so beautiful.
And she knows I love iridescent stuff.
Yes,
so.
and it would have caught the sunlight. So I have it outside. It's just been kind of gloomy, so it's not sparkling yet. But anyway.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about the craft night.
Yeah, that was super fun. So, craft night was always with my family. We do Christmas Eve. And it started out Christmas Eve because my family doesn't celebrate Christmas until Christmas morning.
Right.
So we didn't have anything to do Christmas Eve. So we started getting together on Christmas Eve and doing a craft night. Well, when I met my husband, John, his family does his whole thing on Christmas Eve. So then I told my sister, well, I can't do Christmas Eve craft because I'm going with John's family now. And so she said, what about if we do Christmas Eve Eve? I'm like, yeah. So every year we do Christmas Eve craft night, and it's her daughters usually, because usually it's only the girls that want to do it. The guys don't want to do it. And last year was the first year I invited Marilyn to come join us because she wasn't doing anything Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
And so I said, well, come over. I go, we eat and we talk, and everybody brings a craft, and we just have fun. It's just a Christmas craft.
It was so fun.
So,
and you had all this food. You had like charcuterie board set up and dessert and lasagna soup.
Yeah, that was this year though. Last year we did stuff for food. This year we made a lasagna soup and bread,
so
toasted bread, and yeah, we did all that stuff. And then, so there was 6 of us this year
Yeah.
because my sister's daughter and her 2 girls, and then my sister and me and Marilyn.
Yeah.
So there were 6 of us. So super fun.
Yeah.
And we actually thought
We thought it would be fun
we would
to show
share
you guys.
you some of the crafts that we made.
No judgment zone
Yeah,
here
'cause-
because we just have fun.
We
It
do.
doesn't mean
It's
we're
a fun
super
thing.
crafty.
Yeah.
Okay, let's show them the craft that you brought.
Oh, the craft
Okay.
I did?
So,
Okay.
So what we
So
all
the
did
first
was
one,
we
yeah.
all came up with an idea for a craft, and then we each buy the items that it requires to make the craft. And so Cynthia's, I'm gonna lean over here.
Yeah, let me
really
lean.
fast.
Let me get it. So,
Okay.
yeah, so this one was an ornament, duh.
Yeah.
But, you just buy the clear ornament and you roll it in salt and
Yeah, like rock
glitter.
salt or
It wasn't
kosher
rock
salt.
salt. It was actually kosher salt.
Kosher
I
salt.
couldn't find Epsom. It was Epsom, but I couldn't find that one, so I bought the kosher salt.
It sheds a little.
And yeah, it does shed. I guess you're supposed to buy the spray Mod Podge afterwards. Well,
To set it?
I didn't know that. So ours sheds.
Well, that's okay because we can Mod Podge it
But,
later.
yeah.
I've been very gentle
Yeah,
with mine.
and then I
had
just
mine
bought
hanging.
this. I bought these little glittery things, and I bought some berries, and we just So we made a little cute little
I loved
ornament.
that
Yeah,
one. That was
so
so
that was
cute.
that one.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's show Lorraine.
And then my sister Lorraine, hers was cute. Hers was those little dishes, and we made little gingerbread
Sparkle's falling.
people. Yeah, little gingerbread girls. Ours were girls, huh?
Yeah.
Girls out of them.
Kind of get a good
Oh wait,
angle
I'm trying
here.
to get an angle.
Yeah.
There you go.
So I put sparkle glitter all over mine, so that's why it looks kind of
That's why
lighter.
hers is green and mine is brown.
Well, doesn't look green.
I think because of the lighting.
Because it's got a lot
the
of-
lighting.
It's iridescent.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Yeah.
catching the light a little.
Yeah, but anyway, I thought this was super cute.
Yeah, and the little bow. She bought
Yeah,
these
little
bows
bows that we
can
put on there.
Stick on there and
Yeah.
the little rick rack
Yeah.
around the edge.
Super cute.
And the little wiggly mouth. I've never done that, so that was a
Yeah.
little challenging for me.
Yeah.
But,
And then
do you want to
and then
show
my niece,
this one?
okay, then my niece Sahara, she
Okay,
came up
these
with
were
these
super
these little
fun.
gnome things. And what you're supposed to do is hang them over your oven door.
Yeah, so
And so you could attach it with Velcro.
with
or
the Velcro.
yeah, back here or up there, however
you
you want
can
it.
put the bar
And then you use the
right-
towel, when you're cooking or whatever.
Yeah.
Super
And
cute.
this one that she had bought had ears.
Yeah,
I thought
hers
that
was so cute with the little ears
so
on it.
cute. I love
And then
stuff like that.
Marilyn's was these cute little peppermint candy.
Okay, yeah. So I Googled one night.
You
I woke up in the middle of the night and I was thinking about this craft night. And her and I love candy, anything. That's why we have this affinity for this glass candy.
Yeah, it's
tree
another
that we
thing I
decorate.
stress about. I have to stress about what's my craft for craft night.
Right? So we buy wrapping paper with candy on it, like
Mhm.
everything candy. So
Oops.
when I saw this little craft idea, I was
So
kind of
cute.
tripping out. So it's just a little wooden disc on the inside, and then you measure out red and white striped fabric, and then you or like, what do you call those, peeking shears?
No, peeking shears.
Yeah,
Yeah.
on the edge, and then you use little rick-rack ribbon, and so you just make
Yeah.
these. So Cindy and I were talking about,
Yeah.
like, maybe
I'm gonna string them.
'em.
I'm gonna do like red yarn and string them, and I think that'd be a super cute
Like a
little
little
garland, like on the fireplace or
Yeah.
something. And I said that way I'll use these. I thought they were super cute.
I loved that.
So you
was-
did great
it
job.
was easy.
Great job.
I know, we're covered in glitter right
yeah,
now,
that's
but
okay. I like glitter.
make us a little more more sparkly.
I like glitter.
We
yeah.
tried to wear sparkle because it's like Happy New Year.
Yes, it's New Year's.
We're festive.
Yeah.
Okay, let's backtrack a little bit because I want to talk about our trip to Petaluma.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
We did do a Petaluma trip.
And amongst all that stuff she was talking about,
Yeah.
we had to go to Petaluma. Okay.
Which is about 2 hours and 15 minutes away.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Not too far.
So it's a trip.
Okay.
That's because I'm driving.
Yeah. Okay.
She's relaxing.
I am. I'm the entertainment
Not
while
too
you're
far.
driving, right?
Right.
It wasn't that far. It doesn't feel that far. Well, like we said, when we're driving and we're talking. To me, and I'm not driving, so it always feels so much faster. Okay, so I want to talk about why we had to go to Petaluma.
Yeah.
And we had to go at Christmas time. Like, I was just like, we have all these things going on. There was this one day that I didn't have anything planned. I reached out to Cynthia. I'm like, would you want to go to Petaluma with me? And she's like, for what? Okay, so I kind of inherited from a friend when his mother passed away. They had all of her stuff that they were donating and giving away, and he had asked me, do you want anything of my mother's? And I was like, I remember visiting her when she wasn't well, and there was this gorgeous swag lamp hanging in the corner of her bedroom, and they were really popular in the 60s and 70s, and it was this big clear glass globe, and it had the chain, and it plugged into the wall. And so when he asked me if I wanted anything, I was thinking about it, and I reached out, and I said the only thing I could think of that would be super special would be that swag glass globe lamp that was hanging in the corner of her bedroom. So he's like, I'm going to run out and grab it for you, and I'll drop it off. Okay, that started my affinity for these swag lamps, because within 8 or 9 months after that, Cynthia and I are out and about. We're at an antique store. I wanted a swag lamp for this room, actually, here. It's hanging up here. But one of my swag lamps broke. So I jumped on Marketplace and I started searching. I found this gorgeous swag lamp. And it's actually called a Skyscraper. It was tall and rectangle, totally different shaped than the ones that I'd already collected.
Yeah.
But I reached out to this gentleman on Marketplace, and he said that he would make a deal with me. So saved me $25, and he asked when could I pick it up. So I had to reach out to Cynthia, and I'm like, would you go to Petaluma? Yes. Okay. So we planned this day. We're driving to Petaluma. And actually, I loved the way that we went.
Yeah. We went a whole different way. Yeah. My map thing, was showing that if we wanted to save 18 minutes, we could go this way, right? So I'm like, 18 minutes? Sure, So I punched it in. Yeah, let's do it. So it took us back way and off the main freeway, which, the main freeway was kind of boring anyway. So it took us in the country roads, and we loved it.
Yeah.
We
it
saw
was like
so many other things
like
that
farm
we
country
were,
and the vineyards.
It was really pretty.
It was beautiful.
Yeah, it was a much prettier drive and more interesting. And so we finally find this guy's house, and it's in a subdivision, and we pull in there, and Marilyn's like, come with me. And I'm like, well, of course I am. I'm not going to leave you by yourself to go to some strange man's house and get this vintage lamp. But anyway, so we go up there, and we get, knock on the door, and then this nice older gentleman opens the door, and he just seemed so sweet, and he was kind of timid, and, we were like, she's like, hi, I'm Marilyn, and he's like, hi, I'm Stuart, and,
hi, Stuart.
Yeah. And he's like, come on in, and so,
He was so sweet and so
Super
welcoming.
Sweet. He was.
We found out he's been collecting vintage trinkets and stuff since he was like 6 years old. His house was like a museum. There was like treasures, vintage everything everywhere. I was like trying to take it all in while we were doing our
me too. I was like looking over here and looking over there, and
and it was so funny because he actually had 3 of those swag lamps for sale, and the one that I decided on was the rectangle, the Skyscraper one, because it was so unique looking. And he said, because you had said one of your round ones had broken, I thought that you were going to want to buy the round one. And I said, there was this kind of ornate metal piece at the top of it that I didn't super love. And that was why I kind of went more with the Skyscraper style. Plus, I've never had a rectangle one. And he goes, that ornate piece can be removed. And I was like, really? And so anyways, I ended up buying 2. He removed the piece, and now I came home with 2 lamps, and I'm super excited. Now they're still sitting in the living room on the couch we don't ever use.
Yeah, because it's not like you haven't had anything to do.
I know. And Steve's been a little busy.
Been so busy, yeah.
Yeah,
Been so
but I
busy.
can't wait to hang him. So maybe we'll post some pictures.
Yeah.
And I told Stuart we would send him some pictures.
Yes,
once
he wanted to see
we got
pictures of where
those
she
up.
hung them up, because we kept telling him that his lamps were going to a good home,
Yes.
and that they were going to be well taken care of, and that
Yes.
made him like happy. You
Yeah,
know, that they
yeah.
were going to
A good
Maryland,
home,
and
like, I
yeah,
told
she
him,
loved
like-
how much she loved him and stuff.
Yeah, and I
It
always
was cute.
appreciate that. Like when I was selling some of Braden's
Yeah.
stuff when he was a
Right.
baby, like just knowing that somebody is like going to
Was-
appreciate him and love him.
Yeah.
Like I wanted him to know, like your lamps
Yeah.
are going to a
good
very
home.
good home.
Like he was selling a puppy or
I
something.
know, right? I'm going to take really good care of your lamps.
Yep,
So yeah, I'm so excited to hang
Yeah.
those up.
We did, and then what else did we do there? We did go to the
It was the Marin
French cheese company.
Yes.
Yeah, we
Because
wanted.
we Googled.
Yeah, we did
were like,
Google.
well, we're going to Petaluma, and I hadn't been there since I was a kid.
I'd never been there,
Oh, and
except the day we got lost, and that's another story.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
we should talk about that on another one.
Someday.
That was terrifying.
That was traumatizing.
Yeah, I was traumatized. Poor Braden. He was like 2 at the time.
No, he wasn't that young.
Wasn't he?
No, he was
Oh.
like 5 or
Oh,
6.
he could have been older. Yeah, we'll talk about that. But yeah, we googled like different things to do in Petaluma, and unfortunately, it was kind of a little bit of a colder day, so they didn't have a lot of the outdoor, venue.
Well,
things.
and I think it was a weekday too.
Oh,
it
yeah,
wasn't the
not-
weekend. Yeah,
Actually,
where
that
they would have
probably
stuff.
did
Yeah, going
help
on.
Make
Yeah,
things
Yeah.
a little less,
yeah.
going on. But yeah, so we did stop at this
Yeah.
cheese shop.
That
and
was a cute little place.
It was.
Yeah,
they
it was
had
really
so
cute.
much stuff, and we both love cheese. And
Yep.
they specialized in like bries and soft cheeses and stuff. So
And I had never had aged brie.
yeah,
I've only had the brie you buy in the store.
like the triple
yeah.
cream. What do you call that? Triple
It's
cream
like
or
triple
double cream or
But I mean, brie cheese doesn't really have that much flavor.
yeah,
But her cheese
Yeah.
had some flavor going on.
super.
I had
tasty.
never had that before, and yeah, that was really, really
And
good.
then
So
all
we
the
each bought it.
flavors,
Bought
like
a lot of cheese.
jalapeno.
Mhm.
There
All
were so many
different
flavors.
kinds,
Well, there
yeah,
was
yeah.
truffle. We both don't like truffle.
Ugh.
Then there was garlic, and
Yeah,
I can't
you
eat
got
that.
garlic.
So,
yeah.
but I loved the jalapeno
Yeah.
because I love spicy food. So we got that, and we got some wine, and I got a
Yep.
baguette because
Yep.
I was starving. Oh, and I
Yep.
got basil olive oil. And so
that's
when we
right,
got in the
yeah.
car, I like
She was
broke
like
off a
ripping
chunk.
off the bread and putting olive oil
Drizzling it
outside.
on there just
And
so
she
I
was
could have
starving.
something to snack on.
Yeah, we were both kind of getting hungry.
Yeah,
and-
because our plan was when we leave Petaluma, we're going to be driving through Vacaville,
Yeah.
and there's this darling area called Nut Tree. And me and my family used to go there when we were little.
You were little, yeah,
Yeah.
I know. And they've totally refurbished the whole thing. I mean, it used to be a big place. I mean, you would go there when we were kids. And they had a bakery and a restaurant. They have a carousel with shining lights
the
on it for the,
carousel.
it was just this really cool place to go. Well, then it just went downhill and went to almost nothing. It was like a
Yeah.
ghost town for years.
Yeah.
And then they revitalized it probably maybe 8 to 10 years ago, you think?
Gosh, it had been
You know?
so long since
Yeah.
I've been there. I'm not a good expert on the
But
timing.
they revitalized the whole
Yeah.
place
Now
and put
there's-
in stores and
restaurants. Yeah, there's
and-
like Kirkland's and Home Goods and See's Candy.
Oh my gosh,
and
yeah.
Panera. And
yeah, and all these different restaurants.
Yeah.
And Fenton's Ice Creams has been there forever.
Fenton, I think
yeah.
that probably stayed.
I think
the
Fenton's
whole
was
time.
there. I don't know. I think Fenton's actually used to be the restaurant that
Oh.
you would go. And they had a bakery and you used to buy these loaves of bread that were like this big. And
Oh,
you could get
cute.
white or wheat. And I always wanted to get a loaf of white bread.
Oh,
and
how
I would eat that
cute.
on the way home. Yeah.
Oh, I don't
that was
remember
always
that.
my favorite.
I remember
Yeah.
a funny memory.
That's because I'm older than you.
Oh, just a little bit.
A lot of it.
But I remember when it was like a corn maze back in the day.
Oh,
So
yeah, they did do that.
I think I was maybe like 8 or 9, and my dad was a jokester. And I remember my dad asking me and my twin sister Carolyn, and my older sisters were there too, who if any of us wanted pumpkin ice cream. And I thought my dad was joking because to me a pumpkin is a vegetable and you carve it for Halloween. Like I had no idea there was really
Pumpkin
such a
ice
thing
cream.
as pumpkin ice cream. And my sisters were like, yeah. And I'm like, oh, they're funny. Dad's going to come back with, a pumpkin or something, And then my dad came back with all these ice cream cones and I'm like, there's really pumpkin ice cream? Like, I had no idea. So, anyways, that's one of my memories.
Yeah. Well,
trip.
and that was one of the reasons we wanted to go and stop there because we wanted to go get ice cream at Fenton's.
Yes.
So we did eat. We did go to Panera and we did eat.
Yeah.
So we did do that. And then shopped. Yeah. We went to Home Goods and shopped around and we went to a couple stores.
Yeah.
And then went over to Fenton's to have dessert. And I was super excited because they have peppermint ice cream, and I love peppermint ice cream. And she loves spumoni, and that actually is another holiday. Spumoni and peppermint are both holiday flavors,
And
right?
honestly, I didn't know that because when we go to Spaghetti Factory
That's the only
to
place
have
that has
dinner,
spumoni. Yeah.
they offer you vanilla or spumoni. And years ago, I said, I want to try spumoni.
Yeah.
And it was so good.
Yeah.
The thing is there's nothing inside of the spumoni when you get it at Spaghetti Factory. So I was just anticipating that it was going to be exactly the same at Fenton's.
No.
And I thought because it was on like the holiday ice cream list that I was like, ooh, I want to get it here.
Yes.
Because they have the best ice
The
cream
best,
ever.
yeah, because it's all made right there.
Yeah, totally homemade there.
Yep.
And so I guess the only bummer, and most people would probably love that there was chunks of pistachios and chunks of cherry in it, but I didn't super love that, so I was kind of picking those out. But
she was like spitting out pistachios. And then I got and I said peppermint bark, thinking that I had seen it up on the thing.
Yeah.
And so I just thought their peppermint ice cream was called peppermint bark.
Right.
So I said peppermint bark. I didn't know they had two of them. They had one called peppermint and one called peppermint bark. But anyway, so mine came, and when it got there, I'm looking at it and I'm like,
there was like
it's not pink. And he goes, no, you wanted the peppermint bark, right? And I went, yeah. He goes, oh, it's peppermint ice cream, but it's white with peppermint swirl and bark in it, like chocolate bark. So I'm like, oh, okay. And he goes, well, do you want me to change it? I'm like, oh, no. It's good, right? So I get this, that. So I'm spitting out chocolate chunks. Because to me, chocolate chunks are like wax.
Well, they do get really
super
frozen
cold. Yeah.
and kind of waxy.
So she's like spitting out pistachios. I'm spitting out chocolate chunks. And we're just like, oh, well, it was still good, though.
Yeah, it tasted
it
delicious.
still tasted good, So then we got the bill, yeah. And we're like, we each had a scoop of ice cream. She just had it in a bowl.
Yeah.
And I had it in a cone. And hers was $10.50 and mine was $11.50. It was like,
I'm not joking. Like, my scoop was like this big. It
not
was
even that big.
It was like in a little baby parfait. Like, and they did give you 2 little chocolate chip cookies on the side.
they look like those pre-made Famous Amos.
Yeah, which
And-
I love Famous Amos. But
What?
I didn't want cookies. I wanted ice cream. But
Yeah.
no offense to Fenton's. Your ice cream is divine.
your stuff is delicious. Yeah.
But I was
$25
just like,
bucks for a scoop of ice
$10.50
cream?
for 1 scoop of ice cream.
Yeah.
So,
We were-
anyways, that was just a little surprising. I had never just gotten a scoop. Usually, I'll get like a sundae.
Yes.
With hot fudge.
Yes,
and,
because
like,
they have all that stuff
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
And so I almost felt like it was a better deal to do that because I don't mind spending $14 on a sundae.
On a
but
thing.
yeah, but like $10.50 and 1 scoop of ice cream, I was like, I could have bought like 4 cartons
Yeah,
at
at least
the grocery store.
I got a cone for $1 more.
Oh my gosh. Anyways, that was super fun.
Yeah,
So.
but it was fun. Super fun to go there and bring back the memories of
Yeah,
going
going
to that
there.
tree and all that fun stuff, that we did as kids. And yeah, we did.
That was good.
And now here we are at 2025.
2025 is like literally a few days
my
away.
gosh.
And we're going to be launching this episode on New Year's Day.
Yes, New Year's
so-
Day. So it'll be like, Happy New Year,
Yeah,
everybody.
For
Yeah.
sure.
So, do you have anything memorable in 2024 that you can share with that brings to mind of gratitude or something maybe that, brought you joy? I mean, I know everything brings us joy. I mean, we just
We try
seem
to
find, so many fun things and gratitude in so many things. But
honestly, if I had, okay, so I do have a lot of things I'm grateful for, and one is that I get all this time with you to do the podcast, because that was something that was like, this was not in the making for like a long time. It wasn't something that her and I have been talking about for years. Like Steve threw the idea at us in March. We started working on this in August, and here we are. So I would say the last few months have been a whirlwind, but it's given me so much more time with you, and that's really like one of the reasons why we wanted to do the podcast was to make the most of every minute that we have together. Yeah. And we're going to be sharing more about this in a future episode, but and I'll be sharing more about my husband Steve, but he had a CT scan on a Thursday, the day after Christmas, and we got the results yesterday, and the CT scan
showed good
news, and I won't go into it too much because I'm a very emotional person, but it was great news. I was so grateful to close out our year with a positive note.
Oh man, on a good note like that is probably the best news ever. I mean, and I actually just found out about it today, just a few hours ago.
Started filming,
I was so excited. I'm just like, yay! I'm so excited. I'm so happy for Steve. Yeah,
I know.
So
thank you, Lord, for answering prayers, and Steve felt good. There was some days he wasn't feeling great during the holidays, but we're just so grateful for the good CT scans. Yes. How about you?
Gosh, kind of the same. I mean, like everybody says, family, I'm so happy. I'm happy for my health. I'm happy for my family's health. I'm happy for my boys, and, I'm so happy that my sister was here for Christmas. I think we had the best Christmas we've ever had.
Oh, that's so
And we just had so much fun with the family and playing games and stuff. And we played these crazy games, and me and my sister screamed and laughed so much that we could hardly talk the next day. Our throats were like, because we just totally get into it, but again, too, that we, came up with this, and that I get to spend so much time with my bestie here and to go so many fun places and enjoy every single day. And I just don't even remember a day that me and her have gotten together and gone somewhere that we just did not have a best day ever.
Totally. And we even say that.
We say that every time we say another best day ever.
I tell her that all the time when she drops me off. I'm like, thank you so much for another best day ever.
Yeah, because we do. We really do, and we enjoy our time, and we hope you're enjoying our time that we share with you. And we're going to say goodbye to 2024 and hello to 2025.
Yeah, we're super excited to share 2025 with you guys and all the fun things that we have planned. Yep. And we're just filled with so much gratitude.
Yes,
Not just for our families and for the wonderful year that we've been blessed with, but we're so grateful for all of you guys have reached out to us and have been so supportive and so positive in your comments through, comments on YouTube and social media, and the text messages and the phone calls you guys have given us, just telling us, that we're making you laugh. Like, we just want to bring you guys joy, and we're having fun. So to me, this is just a win-win, and I'm super excited for all the fun stuff we have going on in 2025. And
can't wait.
We'll be back every week to share, more relatable stuff, more silly stories, some of our adventures, whatever shenanigans pop up. But we just appreciate you guys, and we will
just catch you on the next one.